Hi, this is Jonas from Fixation, and we are releasing our debut album, More Subtle Than Death, September 8th.
Beautiful, Jonas. Thanks for joining us and thanks for showing us the album too. That was a beautiful touch.
Thank you so much.
No worries. You say Fixation are preparing to unleash your debut album, More Subtle Than Death, on September the 8th. So how are you feeling about it, mate? You're getting closer now. You're nervous, anxious, excited?
Both excited and anxious. It's been such a long time coming now. We've been working on it for like 3 years, or we started working on it in 2020, and having it finally like in my hands here,
Yeah.
it's insane. Uh, and the fact that we're releasing it next week, it's crazy. I can't believe it's here, already.
It's an interesting title too, mate. Like I can't think of anything less subtle than death. Where'd you come from?
So I read this quote that was, society knows perfectly well how to kill a person and has methods more subtle than death.
And what did you
So
learn?
it's for me it's sort of more an introspective. It's more killing you from the inside, sort of taking what's human or what makes you a person out of you, and leaving you like this shell of a human walking around. That's my sort of perception of the quote, and that's how I felt it was like fitting for the album's topics.
So is that why there's the black flower or the black rose on the cover that's sort of open up and empty?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Beautiful. All right. Well, can you tell us a bit more about the album from a musical point of view and what you were going for with it?
So for this album, it's our debut album, and we we sort of started this band a long time ago. We actually started in high school when we were like yeah, when we were like 15, uh back in 2011. And uh, we tried, a couple of different things. All of the guys have different musical backgrounds, what they listened to, and what they played. Uh, so I think this album is sort of a combination of everything that we've been listening to throughout the years. Um, Also trying to find like a middle ground for what the five of us like now and how we want Fixation to sound. But I think everyone's brought something from their past to create this sort of sound, and I don't think we really tried to go for anything in like particular, because we just made music that we felt like this is something we like, and maybe we have one ballad here and a more orchestral song here, and maybe a more upbeat rock song and some heavy music here. So I think the album was just, a combination of everything we wanted to make, without specifically thinking we should make that type of song or that type of song. It just happened, sort of.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy. I'm very pleased with it.
And you've released the singles Flat Earth, More Alive, Claustrophobic, Stay Awake, and Ignore the Disarray, which is more than half of the album's 9 songs, mate. Like, it just shows the quality of
Yeah.
the album when you can release more than half of it as singles.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And we're, I think it's the way music is today. It's, you sort of have to release more singles to grab people's attention. I think people's attention span is probably a bit shorter than it used to be. So releasing singles is a way for people to sort of dive more into it than releasing a whole album with new songs. I think it gives you like these sort of points where you can attach yourself, where I've heard this before, so I don't have to be using my like listening ear all the way at 100% throughout the whole thing. And I totally understand that. I've always been like an album guy, so I've always listened to the entirety of an album. So I'm really looking forward to getting the whole thing out, because it's released or it's made with sort of this cohesiveness in mind. And I'm looking forward to people hearing that, as well as the last couple of songs that haven't been released yet, because some of them are my favorites on the album.
Very nice.
Um, yeah.
Oh, the album starts with a 1 minute 33, almost ambient track, Impending Fallout. Like, what's the meaning behind starting the album with that? It sort of throws you off a bit.
I think we're all like really into these sort of theatrical grand openings and endings to music. We always loved listening to albums that have these intros and interludes and outros to make the whole experience a bit more, cinematic. I think that was our intention behind that song. We also do it in live settings. We have this grand intro track before going on stage. Sort of sets the mood a bit. Um, the fun thing about the song Impending Fallout, we had the idea for such a long time, but we didn't really get it to work. And when we finally like made the final thing, we were driving home from a gig in Trondheim in Norway, which is like maybe a 9 hour drive back to Oslo. So me and Martin, our guitarist, we were just sitting in the car. I was driving, and he was producing. So we basically made the whole song on a road trip on the way back home from a gig in
Cool.
December, like December last year, maybe I think it was. So it was like the final touch on the album.
Nice. And we mentioned that it is your debut album, mate. So when planning for that, what sorts of things go through your mind with the songs? Like, do you want to showcase your diversity as a band? Do you want to play to your strengths and just play everything you know you can do well? Do you want to show people how many different sides there are? Like, what sorts of things go through your head?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think mostly like I said, it's music that we love ourselves. We are very proud of it. We're very happy with the songs that are on there. I think it shows a lot of our strengths as a band, but also it shows diversity. Um, and like for me, this is a way to get a lot of the ideas that we've been storing up for the years before, to get them, give them a home, and get them out there. And it's been really nice because it's been a way for us to sort of start creating new music again after having these songs for such a long time.
Yeah.
We started making the album in 2020, so you've sort of been constantly working on the songs for that album, and we've been writing new songs all the way, or along the way for this album. But it's nice to like, okay, we have these songs now that we're really proud of, and we can get them out there, and now we can like go in a new direction after that.
Yeah, very cool. So how would you say this album differs musically from your debut EP, Global Suicide?
So Global Suicide was sort of like the songs that we kept from a lot of songs that we had before 2020, and these were like the 4 songs that we felt like were justifiable to get out, because we had a lot of shit. We had a lot of bad music. Start this band when you're like 15, so you write a lot of stupid music. But
True.
I think those 4 songs, we had them for a couple of years before releasing, and I think in 2019 we like recorded and upgraded them to a certain point, and I think we got the 4 songs that we wanted. I think at that point, to be honest, before releasing the EP, we were at a point where we didn't really do as much as we should have done, because we've been doing this band for such a long time as like teens, and not really feeling that it got anywhere. So, but we didn't really release anything either. So it was on us. We were kind of lazy, and yeah, and we finally like were like, okay, we should at least release this music because we're proud of it, and if it doesn't go anywhere, it doesn't go anywhere. But let's just get it out there. And then we released the first single, Neurosis, first by ourselves, and then we got picked up by our label, Indie Recordings, and that's when things sort of started rolling, and they picked up the EP, and we released the rest of the EP with them, as well as Neurosis, sort of, and it was really great. I think the song "What We Have Done," which has become our most popular song, I think it was written in maybe 2018 or something like that. I remember writing a lot of the stuff on that song at like school. Like we went to university and for music, and we had some studios there, and I remember just sitting in the one of the rooms and just writing the song.
Oh, that's so cool. From
Yeah.
there to where you are now, like sometimes you must just sort of sit back there and think about it and just go like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Definitely.
So the album comes out on September the 8th, mate, but what's next for Fixation? What else have you got planned?
So we got the release, then we got a tour in October with the German band And It's Okay, which I'm really looking forward to. It's we did a tour from February to April with Devin Townsend, which was our first ever European tour.
Nice, how'd that go?
Yeah, that was amazing. It was great, and all the people on that tour were so amazing and welcoming. So we really felt like it was a good start to tour the tour life.
Not a bad that.
No, definitely not. We're really lucky to be able to get that, and I think we learned a lot because we were sort of diving in blindly into this tour. So for this run, I think we are more prepared. We know what we're gonna expect. How to live on a bus for 6 weeks.
We laugh, but it's a big change, isn't it? Like because you're in a confined
Definitely.
space, you're in other people's space. Like it's all a learning process.
Yeah, definitely. It's sort of like you're not ever completely alone at any point.
Somebody's watching.
So you just have to get used. Yeah. So you have like, even in your bunk, you have this little like sort of curtain thing, but it's not, how big of a wall is like a curtain between you and the other guys. So you have to get really comfortable with each other, which luckily we've known each other for such a long time. It's not a problem, but as well, we shared the bus with we shared the bus with Clone, the other support band on the last tour. So we got to really know them as well, and this time we're sharing the bus with NSOK. So it's very nice way to like get really familiar with people, because you just kind of have to. Sorry?
But I hope you get on with them, otherwise you're in the shit.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, it would suck having knowing on the first day of the tour is like, okay, this is not gonna.
Yeah,
we're not gonna. Yeah. I think it's gonna be all right. I think it's gonna be all right.
Fine, brother. Now, before we let you go, we've started 3 new Spotify playlists through Heavy based on the songs from people we speak to. So, using your own songs, can you give us a song for a playlist to get the party started, one for a playlist to save your marriage, and one for a playlist that could potentially end your marriage?
All right. So, from our own songs.
Your own songs, yeah.
Ah, shit. So to get the party started, I think do I have to choose the ones that are released, or can I choose some of the album that are released?
I'll wait till the album comes out, then I'll add them after that. So.
All right. So to get the albums to get the party started, I think the song "Violent Tendencies" is a good one. It's sort of very upbeat rock anthem song. Yeah. When we play it live, we always get the party started. So I think that's a good one. To save your marriage. Ah, man, what can that be then? To save your marriage. Maybe the song. I'm not sure. Bleed, maybe. It's very beautiful and honest.
Right, yeah, we'll go.
It's yeah, it's very truthful. It shows your inner inner demons sort of song. So I think
Right.
that's good.
One that could
Good,
potentially
good
be your marriage.
in my marriage. Oh my god.
Maybe not yours specifically, but you know, like
Ah, oh, that's a good question. Maybe. I mean, we have this song, "Ignore the Disarray," which is about uh, the way religion and doctrines operate around the world. So maybe if someone in the marriage believes in something and the other doesn't, that's a good
very
that's
diplomatic
a
one.
good way to. Yeah, I'm not sure.
All right,
And it's
Joe.
sort of an angry song, so yeah.
No worries at all. Thanks very much for your time, bro. The album More
Thank
Subtle
you.
Death is out on September 8th. I had to listen to it before we chatted, mate, and very solid effort, mate. Very good album. So best of luck with it. And hopefully we see you
Thank you
out
so
in
much.
Australia one day.
We'd love to come to Australia. That'd be amazing.